Hi, welcome back. On today's lecture series, we are going to discuss about an wiring layout. So, on today's the journey is based on the residential wiring system, staircase wiring system, floors and lamp wiring, and the DT based system which are used in the staircase or floors and lamp, and some of the real time applications of a staircase or floors and lamp and residential wiring systems. So first of all, we have to understand what is a residential wiring. What is a residential wiring? So here, the power supply, which is from the utility pole, that will be distributed to all the final circuits like power outlet, lighting point, switches, and some of the loads like mixie, fan, grinder, all the utility. So here, it will be done with the help of a distribution board. So also we have to include some of the safety devices in the residential wiring, like a miniature circuit breaker, earth leakage circuit breaker, and we have to do an proper earthing, either plate type or rod type. So all the residential wiring system we have to follow an international standard 732. So here the main key component of a residential wiring system, which include the power supply, which is coming from the utility pole, and an energy meter, and we are in need of a miniature circuit breaker for the productions, and the distribution board to distribute the power supply to the various switch boxes, and the wiring accessories, etc. So, and staircase wiring fundamental. So, what is staircase wiring? In olden days, when we have to move from the one floor into another floor, it will be too dark, so we are unable to move from one floor into another floor. So that time they are invented the wiring system for the staircase. So here the main concept of staircase wiring, we are going to control and single lamp in two different location. We are going to control and one lab from two different location. One is in the first floor, another one is in the second floor. So that is the main concept and main fundamental of staircase wiring. And the fluorescent lamp wiring systems. So here the fluorescent lamp, it required a tube lights. That is, it may be an 18 watts, 32 watts, 36 watts, or 46 watts, etc. So also we are in need of a choke and the starter and the two holders. Okay, so these are the components which are required for the wiring of fluorescent lamps. So while we are doing the empathy of uh, the electrical wiring system, so all the house owners, they are perfect too. So they're expecting the safety while doing the electrical wiring. They're always expecting the safety and the convenience to operate and the energy efficiency and the maintenance cost as well as the initial cost. So they are expecting the cheap and best. So these are it is comes under the empathy of house owners. While doing the empathy with the electrician point of view, they're always thinking about they are very easy for installation. It should be very easy to install the electrical wiring. If any fault is occurred, it should be easily troubleshooted and the beyond based on the material availability also. And according to the engineers concerned, they're always thinking about the load calculations. What are the different types of load we are going to use? So whether we are in need of a three-phase power supply or single-phase power supply is needed. So they are calculating the loads, and also they have to calculate the what is the voltage drop and what are the production system we are going to implement in the electrical wiring system. And suppose if you want to expand this electrical wiring in further in future, so how it could be implemented easily. So they are these are the concerns from the engineers design sides. From this empathy, residential wiring challenges. So here it should be safe design and it should be more efficient for the distribution of electrical power supply to the various loads. And the maintenance also is very easy. And for the staircase wiring, here we have to control a single lamp from multiple floor without using any complex wiring or high cost. And if you go for the fluorescent wiring challenge, so it should provide energy efficiency lighting and with a proper starting mechanism. So that should be avoided. The residential wiring ideas. So here, while doing the residential wiring, so we have to segregate in power supplies. Like for lighting, we have to give separate power supply. So with a fuse of 5 amps, and for the power outlets, that is like a plug point. So here we have to use the wiring with respect to 15 amps power supply. And if you are using any air conditioner in our home, so we have to give the power supply with respect to 32 amps, as well as for kitchens. And based on the load calculations and based on the loads, we have to choose the wiring size. It may be 1 square mm, 2.5 square mm, 3 square mm, like that. And if you go for light load, 1 square mm is enough. But if you go for beyond 16 amps, so always we have to choose 2.5 square mm wiring. And for this residential wiring, for the safety concern, we have to use a miniature circuit breaker, a 3K circuit breaker for the surge protections. So all the wiring system should be done with conduit wiring, especially concealed conduit wiring. So here, the power supply which is coming from the utility pole, that will be taken into the single phase energy meter, and from the output of single phase energy meter, that should be connected with the fuse. After that, it will be again connected with the miniature circuit breaker, and then followed by distribution board. From this distribution board, again it will be given the possibility to all the switch boxes, and through switch boxes and switch, we are splitting the possibility to the various loads. So this is the main concept and main idea of a residential wiring system. And for staircase wiring system, so here we are using two-way switches. One is in the ground floor, another one is in the first floor. So here, the phase is connected with the center terminal of the first switch, and the second switch is the center terminal of the second switch is connected with the load, and the another point of load which is connected with the neutral. Okay, so this is the connection diagram. So in the two-way switch, this is the first switch and this is the second switch. If the two top points or top terminals are connected, and here the two bottom terminals are connected, this is called direct connecting, direct connection. Now that is called direct linking. So here, so if the switch position 1 is on, the lamp will glow. 1 2 1 2 and 2 2 is on, the lamp will glow. If either 1 2 or 2 1, the lamp will not glow. So this is the main concept of stand cast wiring. Suppose if you want to add two or more than two locations, we can add some intermediate switches to control a single lamp. And for the fluorescent lamp, so here the power supply is given through the switch, then choke, that is called blast, and after that tube light and starters. So here the choke, so which is used for current limit, just like stabilizer, which is used to regulate the output voltage, and the starter, which is used for the ignition, because an tubelet which is record 1000 volt at the time of starting. So but the supply voltage is only 220, so this is not sufficient to glow the lamp. So in order to heat up the electrode, so we are in need of 1000 volt, so that should be supplied by the starter at the time of the starting. Once the electrodes are gets heated, then it start producing the UV light. Then the pass press, it converting the UV light into the visible light. Okay, so this is the main concept of the fluorescent lamp. And here the circuit design, here we have to follow the international standard IS 732, and we have to select the materials in proper cable, switch, production devices conduits as per the international standard specifications. And the assembly, install circuit on proper way. and you have to install the MCB, LCB, and especially an insulation, that is earthing, before giving the power supply to the any residential. So during the testing, we can do the load test process or voltage drop measurement or MCB tripping verification or ELCB functionality check. So by using these kind of testing methodology, we can able to check whether it's properly function or not. And these are main applications of the wiring layout, like a residential building and some schools, hospitals, hotels, and parking areas, commercial spaces, and warehouse, factory, and public infrastructure like metro, train, airport. Yeah, these are the main applications of the wiring layout. So here, this is a main summary map. So here we are discussed about the residential wiring system and staircase wiring system, and then followed by the fluorescent wiring system. So this is the QRT challenge. Why do we use different circuit for lighting and power in home? So can you design a four-way staircase lighting control? We've seen only the two floor or three floor. But if you plan for four-way, so what are the strategy you will follow? Okay, so these are the few Q&A challenge. You can know the answer just to put in your comment box, chat box. And this is an assessment. Design a residential wiring scheme for a three-bedroom apartment with the following loads. So we are having six LED, each LED 10 watts in bedroom and a hall. Four tube lights, each 36 watts in kitchen and bathroom. Four power output, each rated 5 amps for appliances. Two AC, each 1.5 tons, that is 2 kilowatts, and one water heater with 2 kilowatts. So you can here you have to calculate what is the load calculation. So based on the load calculation, whether we are in need of a three-phase power supply or three-phase power supply. So put your answer in the chat box. So these are the few references for this topic. Thank you.